Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are memory planning the week that was January 6th through to January 12th, and we are using this absolutely beautiful kit from Plannerface. It was actually a tiered freebie set from one of her sales. Cannot recall which one, but of course it will be in the title below. But I could not resist this kit. So backstory behind why I chose this kit first. So the week before, for anyone who's watched my last Plan With Me, you will know that we had a beach day for New Year's Day. So we drove to a beach that was like 2 hours away. It was absolutely stunning. The water was like crystal blue. So pretty. But because it was New Year's week, I wanted to use a New Year's kit. And then I was like, but we only ever go to the beach once. When am I going to use my beach kits? Because I honestly have so many beachy resort style kits, and we haven't been on holidays in a very long time, since 2019 was the last holiday that we went on, and it was to Fiji. So since then I've just been accumulating all these summer kits, specifically beachy style kits, and I really wanted to use a beach kit. If no others during summer, I wanted to use at least one. So I decided that in lieu of having gone to the beach the week earlier, I was going to use one beach kit to reflect the beach trip, and that is this one. So that is my story. I'm sticking to it. But this kit is so pretty. It reminds me of that beach. There was no wharf or no dock or anything like that. There was definitely not a cute little doggo. It was not a holiday house of any kind, but just that double box scene that you saw me lay down reminded me strongly of like how that beach presented on first experience. So that is why I rolled with this kit. I did pair this with some SPC Plannerface foil, and by pairing it with Plannerface foil, I mean I literally used date dots, and I used a couple of icons through the spread. I did also bring in some old SPC icons, the rounder ones. You guys have heard me talk about it before, but for me, when I bring in those rounded foil elements, it just helps bring that foil into the kit more. At this stage, even doing this voiceover in October of 2025, I don't know if I'm going to go back and put overlays on the full boxes. We will see. I might put some sprinkles of foil on the glitter headers, but we shall see what happens, because in terms of foil, it's very lackluster in that regard. Sidebar, very stock standard. So we have a tall box girl at the top there, and then we have two of the full boxes. I've left room to mark like a highlight or like what I was reading or something like that in the sidebar, like I always do. For anyone who may not have noticed, I am trying to incorporate my weekend banners into this year's spreads. It is proving very difficult because I'm not used to doing it. So as we go through some of the spreads in 2025, you'll notice that some of them I don't actually put weekend banners in, and then I have to go back in later and like figure it out. But I'm trying. Anywho, because we ran out of time on the last video, I am not going to talk through the icons that I placed down this week. Again, I did ask for your thoughts in the previous video, so let me know if you are someone who enjoys knowing where stickers are from as they're laid out, or if you are happy for me to just link the stores I use in the description below so that I can talk through the plans and anything exciting that might have happened through the week, because I know people have different preferences. I don't really have a preference either way when I watch Plan With Me videos, and I always link the stores that I mention in the description. So let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But first things first, so Monday the 6th, I'm pretty sure I was off work all of this week too. Off memory, I think I took 3.5 weeks leave, like including the public holidays. So I was off just before Christmas, and then I went back mid-January, so the week after. Yeah, that is correct. So on Monday, I marked that I woke up at 10 a.m. Once I was awake, I did mark that I had a YouTube binge, and I made myself an iced coffee. Nothing fancy here. By making an iced coffee, I literally mean I boiled the kettle, mixed the coffee and sugar, added some ice in, added some milk in, and I drank it. No fancy coffee machine or anything. That's how I did it. I then marked that I did some laundry this day. I did a voiceover I spent some time watching or listening to, whichever way you would wish to preface it, because you can listen or you can watch or you can do both. But I spent some time listening and watching some Twitch ASMR. I marked that I posted a D-stash on this day. And then on this particular day, I marked that I finished reading Things We Left Behind. Things We Left Behind. Oh, that was the, I forget the name of them, but there was 3 of them. There was the Things We Left Behind, Things We Never Got Over, and something else. But finished that one on this day. Tuesday, I've marked that I slept in, but I slept until 11. So apparently I was, again, usual practice for me on this channel, you guys know. I slept until 11. I then marked that I filmed my Plannerface Advent opening for 2025, which is wild because that video literally only just went live on my channel like a few days ago. So the fact that I filmed it in January of this year and has only just gone live, that's wild to me. Anywho, I then filmed my 2025 planner unboxing, which again just went live on my channel not too long ago, so you can see how far behind we are. But you can also see that I have been filming content like since then. I again spent some time watching and listening to some Twitch ASMR this day. And then I marked that I was sorting and decluttering my stickers, which I'm still in the process of doing. It's just one of those things. I hate doing it. I have so much to destash, but I've got old spreads that I need to go through and make sure they're finished before I destash things. And destashing is so painful, like taking the photos and then listing them, and then just, like, it's so nice to be able to sell off your things to other people who will use them, but the actual process of doing it is a nightmare. I did another voiceover this day. I started reading Never Lie, which I think is a Frida McFadden book. And then on this particular evening, I did upload a video as well. I don't recall what it was because I obviously didn't write it down, but I uploaded. Wednesday morning, the first thing that I marked was that I filmed a video. I then marked that Amazon threw my package at the door. I vividly remember this. I don't remember what it was, and I don't think it was breakable, but I remember watching them through my blinds because I was waiting for them to knock on the door. Because if they don't have to knock on the door, like, I'm not going to worry about it. So I was waiting to see, and he literally, like, from like 2 meters away, chucked it. It bounced off the front door and then like landed like on our front patio. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, what if that was breakable? I would like to think that if there was a breakable sticker on it, they wouldn't do that. But you would also like to think that full stop, they wouldn't do that. But they did. And then I like made a point of like opening the blind so that he could see me and that he could see that I'd seen him, but he didn't look back. So yeah. I then marked that I had some coffee this day, and then I was eating some Clinkers chocolates and playing Final Fantasy 14. Clinkers, for anyone who is not Australian, is kind of like, it's kind of like a crunchy texture or a violet crumble, or like, I don't know, if you've seen people who eat cornstarch videos, like that hard cornstarch, it's kind of that texture, and they come in like pink, green, or yellow. And then they're obviously flavored, they're sweet, they're delicious, they're not cornstarch. And then they're coated in chocolate. They're really, really yummy. So I was eating those while I was playing. And then I marked that I finished Never Lie that night. So I literally finished that in like 2 days. So a couple hours. I marked that I pulled some stickers this day. And then because I finished Never Lie, I then started None of This Is True. Don't remember what that book is or who it's from, but I do have a Goodreads. I can link it. I don't really use it. I've not been really good about that. I've been using it to mark like what books I've read and when, but I don't really write reviews or anything. But I'll link it below for anyone who's interested. Thursday, I marked that, again, I slept until 11 a.m. and then I did film a video. I then marked that I had a coffee and pretzel for breakfast because I went to the shops this day apparently. So I got a coffee, I got myself a pretzel, and then I had my waxing and my nail appointments. I pulled stickers this day, and then when I got home, I marked that I was playing some more Final Fantasy 14. I think I was obsessed with it for like a couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks, and then I haven't played it since. But in all fairness, I haven't played many of my games for a little while. Friday, TMI, but my little guinea pig, his little pecker, if you will, was stuck out. and it wouldn't retreat. So I was worried I was like going to have to go to the vet. I did some Googling, I watched some videos, and it showed me that you could try and push it back in, which I did, and it worked, and he was fine. I then marked that I bathed him to do that, just with the soapy hot water. It made it a little bit easier. And like I said, we monitored him, and he didn't have a problem again. So yeah, a little bit traumatic for the both of us, I think, but the things you do as a pet owner. I then marked that I did some filming this day. I played some more Final Fantasy XIV. I hung out on Twitch. This night I had Chinese food for dinner, and then that evening we watched Spider-Man Homecoming. I think, again, this was in the midst of our Marvel Universe rewatch thingy, which we're still not finished. We're still watching some of those movies. Then on to the weekend. So at the top of the day there, I'm pretty sure that's meant to say lazy evening, but I have lazy morning, but I've not put a script there. I think I was out of scripts at the time, which I've now restocked, so I need to go back and fill these in. I did some more filming. So as you can see, like, I was doing a lot of filming here, and that's why I've got like so much content. And as much as I'm behind in posting content, I think the last lot of content I'm still pretty behind. I just filmed my May kit lineup video on the weekend just gone, and it's October 27th today as I do this voiceover. So we're still very much behind, but I'm still trying to pump out that content. We then watched San Diego Zoo on TV. It was just on. We put it on in the background, and I got hooked and was watching it quite intently. I then marked that I had a banana muffin. I had to call the IVF clinic so that I could start our next cycle because they closed over the Christmas New Year period. And I think they only reopened like the week after this. So they must have reopened this week, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to call them. But I called them because I wanted to order medications and get everything in motion. And then that particular evening, we took a break from the Marvel Universe, apparently, which we do every now and again. Particularly when the movies are like 2, almost 3 hours long. You just don't have time to sit there and watch them like over a weekend. So we pick and choose how and when we watch them. So that evening we watched Smile 2. And then finally on to Sunday, I marked that I filmed at the top of the day there. I then watched some YouTube, scheduled some YouTube content. I then marked that I did a Plannerface UPS order. So she was obviously having a UPS sale. And of course I purchased, because they are the best time to get Plannerface items, because not only can you often get, a lot of your wish list on a little bit of a discount, you can pick up everything that you want, and you will usually get like some sort of tiered freebie, which is what this kit was. And depending on how much you spend, sometimes you can get enough in the tiered freebies to make the kit last 2 or 3 spreads, depending on what kind of planner you are. Me being a no white space planner, I usually get at least 2 spreads from them. So I really love that. Always take advantage of those sales. I then marked that I was organizing my kits, so just going through them and putting them in the correct seasonal albums. I uploaded a video this night, and then I marked at the end of the day that I finished out the day by reading None of This Is True. I don't even remember if I read that physically or if I was reading it on Kindle. I don't know. But I'm ahead for once. I don't think I write my plans in. I think, you'll just see the finished spread. But that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you all very, very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye!